Good afternoon. My name's Miller, and I'm an addict, and welcome to the Addiction Show. And we're real happy to have Jim Kirk in the house today, a musician extraordinaire and also an addict. Can I break your anonymity and say you're an addict?
You can.
I think I just did. All those millions of people.
After this many years, I'm not ashamed of it.
How many years is it, Jim?
Well, besides one day, one slip up 15 years ago, I would probably have 31 years.
So there was that little asterisk like Pete Rose has for the Hall of Fame.
Yes, that was about 15 years ago.
And
And it was a good lesson that really.
What did it teach you?
It taught me that, unless I'm diligent about my, recovery, you can slip anytime. So I got back into the program and did, what I needed to do. I got you as my friend and sponsor and just jumped back into the program. So
when did you know you were a sponsor? I mean, when did you know you were an addict?
Looking back now, it was obvious it was at a pretty young age. But I couldn't actually admit it until maybe I was about in my late 20s.
What happened?
There was at that point there could be no denying. I had my mother was a nurse at South Miami Treatment, and the addiction runs in my family. So I had.
And your mother was my nurse when I was in addiction treatment
many years ago.
Yeah.
So she would bring home pamphlets and little things and put them on the refrigerator, but there was no way I was ready for any of that. And
were there consequences? Is that what happened?
Of course. Ran deep. I think all throughout my my marriage, I married an addict and co-sponsor for all of our. That was our bond, was our drinking and drugging, and it just we carried that out for quite a few years until you hit a bottom. You know that you can't go on like this. I remember thinking I'm not an addict because I'm not smoking crack and I'm not crawling on the floors and you hear some of these horror stories. I wasn't homeless. Wasn't very successful at holding a job, but I knew it was creeping up and that I had to admit, there was no denying it. I think I was about 28 years old and I couldn't deny it. I just had been divorced, and I think, with my son being about 2 years old and I knew what I went through with my father, I wanted to get help, and I knew, I remember like it was yesterday that okay, I think I'm ready.
So the good news is that this show kind of time travels. We're not linear. So that son that was 2 years old, is that the one just got married?
He just got married. He's got 2 kids now. He's been married a couple years, and he's got a 2-week-old baby girl. Most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And we actually babysitted my grandson today, and what joy those 2 little things bring me. And my son is now working with me and for me.
And what business is that?
I have a landscape business. I've had it since for about 30 years, almost as long.
What made you get into that business, Jim?
I believe, first of all, I was probably at that point incapable of working for anybody else.
That's what my boss tells me sometimes.
Like I said before, I wasn't very good at holding a job. I could get a job and not hold it. And I worked for a friend of mine that had his own business, landscaping, and I think it was Andrew. A couple of days after Andrew, I never worked for anybody else after that. That was my springboard for my own business. And
So at some point, so you were clean at that point. How long?
barely,
Barely. Okay.
barely.
But now you're clean, and and you decide, you know what, I need to pay my bills. So this is a way to earn a living, to make money. Did you have that conscious process, or you just kind of floated through it, or what happened
Yeah,
there?
well, I could tell you this. I wasn't born a businessman. If I, I'm more of a gardener, artist mentality. I think I'd be much further along in the process, but I never needed to have 10 trucks on the road. So I started small. I had out of a little, I've heard the stories before. You start with a little station wagon and a lawnmower in back, and now I have 7 employees, and I'm good with that. I don't need. I have 3 trucks on the road, and um, just show up every day. That's what I tell people.
So we're talking about like early recovery, early clean time, and at this point, I'd like to make mention that we're blessed to have a sponsor today. One of the first things that addicts do when they get clean is realize that their mouth is the only part of their body that still feels dirty, and so they go get their teeth cleaned. And no better place to get your teeth cleaned, fixed, and made beautiful again than Dr. David Cabanzan right here in South Miami. And he's my dentist also. And there's actually a before picture. Do we have a before picture, producer? That's not it. This is me now.
With that beautiful smile.
Yeah, there we go. So this is so disgusting. This is like a horror film. I used to not smile, and this is what my mouth looked like. And now, can we see an after picture, please? There we go, like George Clooney, like a movie star. If you're having a problem, if your mouth isn't right, call Dr. Cabanzan in South Miami, and we appreciate the sponsorship. Now back to the show. So you're moving, yes?
I am. We just closed on our house a few days ago. A big decision. It took me 3 years to campaign my wife to be able to do this bold move. I applaud her. I know it took a lot of guts. We've loved our home for the last 20 years, but I've just been feeling the need for a change.
The summers get hot when you're landscaping.
It really does. The traffic, just.
So it's time to get out of Dodge.
I
hope you're going to have a guest room in North Carolina.
That we plan on it.
Yeah. So when there's a knock on the door and it's me, shut out the lights.
The light will be on, my friend.
So I bring that up because there's miracles of recovery, and you here we went from, your mother putting things in the refrigerator. You have consequences. You marry an addict and things go to shit, and then over time you get clean and miracles start happening. Yes.
You look at them as miracles now, coming from where I was and my mindset, and the perspective I lived with every day. I would say they are miracles. That's a good way to describe it.
We're daily blessings. I mean, you go from nothing to something, and feeling okay about yourself. Has your recovery been like you thought it was going to be?
It's they say a day at a time. It's so cliche, but it's so true. You have to start somewhere, and it takes work. It's not something that you just happens overnight. It doesn't happen in my time. It doesn't happen when I want it to, but They say if you stick around, the miracle will happen. You know, again, you hate to be cliche, but and that's what you learn is those you build those you know, a day at a time. You build those. You get tools to deal with life.
You've worked in I've been in workshops with you.
Yeah. So
you peel the onion and work on yourself. So in addition to you got clean, you got divorced, found a lovely lady, started a new family, and when I first really met you or saw you, you were coaching. How did that happen?
Well, my son, he showed an aptitude. I was always an athlete, and I love to.
We had a run from the cops, so
yeah, somebody, you know.
Yeah.
That was pretty fast.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, and I tried to get my son into music. He was, you know, about 7, 8 years old at that time. And he wanted sports, so we put him into a little flag football program I had heard about, and there was 3 teams in Dade County at that time at our park. We started a little flag football program that now every park in Dade County has.
Well, let's take a breath and move back. You started a flag football program?
We started a little flag football program that has blossomed into.
How's that make you feel?
That makes me feel pretty good that we were an initial part of that, and our park was the only park around that had that. But he showed a real aptitude, and that was our bond. That was my bond with my son. It wasn't music; it was sports, and we still have that bond today. He got a scholarship to play football in up in Pittsburgh, and you know, I was very proud of his accolades, and I was glad that I was a part of. You know, I could show him the way that, you know, he doesn't have to be on the streets. It got him off the streets.
So the saying that we did all of it, regret none of it, and don't want our kids to do any of it. I think you were successful in breaking that chain of addiction, especially since you mentioned it runs genetically pretty deep in your family. Yes?
Yes, it does.
And your son's doing just fine.
He's doing okay. I'm very, very proud of him every day. And my daughter too. You know, she just graduated high school.
Congratulations to Charlotte.
She has aspirations to college, and you know, look at that and think, you know, what if I was still out there? None of this would have happened. You know,
maybe it all happened like it's supposed to. Yes,
we could say that.
We could say that. So you know, you mentioned the music. How long have you been doing music?
I think I picked up the guitar when I was 12.
Was that a family thing? Your family?
No,
that was you.
That was me. You know, I used to be sent to my room. Jim, get out of here with that. You know, go play somewhere else, far away. You know.
Oh yeah, far away.
Far away, yeah. Over there.
Neighbor's house.
Yeah. So, but I just, you know, some say it's a gift. I don't.
It's certainly a passion.
It's a passion. It's not a, you know, just something that I saw and I said, I have to do that. I want to learn how to do that. So
I was told there's two gifts that nobody can ever take away. One is language, second language, and the other is music. So we build you as a musician, and you told me that you taught Bob Dylan the harmonica. Could you perform for us for a few minutes? Can I? Thank you.
Could.
Will you please?
Okay. I happened to bring you asked me to bring my guitar.
And your harmonica.
All right.
Well, this is one of the blessings of recovery.
All right. So
here in the Addiction Show, this is a first for us. A little music.
I haven't really got anything prepared, but just a little. I've gotten good at both of these things.
Let's hear it and see it.
All right. That's a little sample.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you back there. Thank you, Miami.
You know, we should have put a hat out, and I brought my wallet. I put it with a. Are you appearing anywhere around town? You want to do a little
Well,
commercial?
we were very steady before the pandemic. My wife and I, she sings, I play, and we had a nice couple steady gigs in Kendall. And then after the pandemic, I started writing a lot of music. That was really no place to play, so I just sat down and started.
Do you have an
writing.
original that you'd like to give a couple of?
Yeah, let me see. Here's a kind of an addiction song, if I remember some of the words. Something that you should know. All the resentments that you let grow. Hot damn, they're starting to show. Think it's time to let it go. Pain and anguish you hold in. Not let right under your skin. Hot damn, time to go. Think it's time to let it go. Let it go, let it go. All right, something like that.
Something like that. You're a humble man.
Well,
Very
thank you
nice.
very much. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I got into doing some songwriting, and we've recorded a few songs with a friend of mine. He's actually won a Grammy.
Who's that?
His name's Paul Hoyle. He's won a Grammy, and we recorded 12 songs. I haven't done much with him to this point, but it's something I'd like to pursue. You know, still, hopefully there's still time to pursue that passion, and that might be, with selling the house and change of scenery. I would like to explore that a little bit. I don't, music is my love, so we might, explore that avenue and just try some different things other than what we've been doing for the last 30 years.
North Carolina is the Chattooga River, where they filmed Deliverance, goes right through North Carolina. So maybe you can get some of those.
Play some bluegrass.
Yes, play some bluegrass. I think
love bluegrass music. Yeah, so
that's you're gonna have to find some new band members.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought about it, and it, just let things happen naturally. I don't want to go force anything, but
so here you go to 12-step meetings.
Yes,
on a regular basis.
Not as regular as I used to. I'll admittedly, I'm still there regular. I would say regular, once a week, but I could stand to do a few more. What meetings do for me at this point, people, I had somebody ask me the other day, Jim, why do you go to meetings after all this time? Are you afraid of using? And the answer is no, I'm not afraid of using. I'm not afraid of falling. I'm not it.
So why do you still go to meetings?
I get a little better perspective on life. I don't let it doesn't, I hear things, I connect with people that I can relate to, and I get a little better perspective on life. Little things don't bother me. The guys at work, I don't have to fall into those traps.
Addict edge off.
It takes the edge off.
Yeah.
And that's what alcohol does for people. Maybe takes the edge off. Go to a meeting, takes the edge off. You know, it gives me a little bit better perspective.
So the last time I was asked, my answer was a question. I said, "Well, how often do you take a shower?"
Yeah.
Oh, so me, every day I take a shower.
I'm once a week.
Well,
Saturday night.
Saturday night, whether you need it or not. And then you leave the water for the next person. But that's another. You want to be first or second, not third in that bath water. But I said, "Why do you take a shower?" And he said, "Well, it's a dumb question. I take a shower to stay clean, and that's why I go to meetings to stay clean." You've been in a number of workshops. Tell me what a workshop is and what's that like?
Workshop is you get together with a few guys that you are comfortable with, and you talk about life, and you open up and you share things that maybe you haven't shared, or you're just a little bit fearful of sharing with even some of the people that you're close with, your wife and your children. You don't tell them those certain things. You don't tell them certain things that I would open up, about things in the past that, some of your deep, dirty secrets. And once you get those out there, once you tell, another human being, they're not so dirty. They become, "Hey, Jim, I did that too. That happened to me too." And boy, you leave there feeling a lot better about yourself. So
You're only as sick as your secrets, right?
that's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's what you say.
Well, I say that because it's true, right? Are we good? Yep. Okay, good. Talk about recovery. I want to mention that some of my service lately has been Miami Recovery Project. So if a person is struggling with addiction and doesn't know where to turn, or they're have a loved one struggling with addiction, then they should go to MiamiRecoveryProject.org, MiamiRecoveryProject.org, and get some help. We're blessed now with resources in town that we didn't have. These people do, for instance, Narcan distribution. We lost 108,000 in this country, and you and I both know some of the people that we lost, and we know the parents who lost, their kids. It's tragic.
Absolutely, yeah. It's
when it hits home, when you actually know numbers, actually people in that from that 108,000. It's
I have a it's runs in our family, and I have a nephew that's his wife is in treatment. We're all pulling for her to get the help she needs. This is up in North Carolina, but what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and I hope if one person hears this that it can help.
They're not alone, right?
We made a difference. You've made a difference. Yeah.
Well, you too. Just some of it just they say it's a program of attraction, not promotion. There's a little bit of promotion, hopefully a lot of attraction.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. When I was using, I thought everybody used. People would come up to me and just, "Hey, you want to go smoke a joint?" I mean,
that was normal.
It was, and it was weird. I got out of treatment. I'm clean just a little bit of time, and somebody came up to me in Publix. A person I didn't know, say, "Are you a friend of, Bill or Jimmy K or whatever it was?" And that's code words for you. Are you in recovery? Now, how come before when I was using, I guess I gave off bad addict energy, mm-hmm. And you get clean, and other people want to be around you.
Well, it's attraction the other way. You're attracted to those people that are, come into class high, or, come to work high, or somebody that's drinking. I mean, just the aura that person, I believe, is walking around with. It's an attraction. And they get together, and that's their person they can relate to, because they're drinking and you're drugging, and that's I think it's just a universal attraction that is addiction.
It's good to be clean today, though, right? It's good to be clean.
There's not a day that, that one of the first things you learn is to be grateful and have a attitude of gratitude. And I still, after 30 years, I think one of the best things I wake up with is that I'm grateful that I don't have to go use today. I'm grateful that I got another day clean. And where we go from there is who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I know I can get through it clean. I don't have to use.
So before we wrap up, I want to, as promised, go back and thank our sponsor today. If you could put that up, Dr. David Cabanzin from Dental Boutique. You're right here in South Miami. I don't know that we didn't need to put my bad mouth up again, but
please no.
Yeah, please no. If you're having any mouth issues and don't know where to turn or don't know where to go to, this is Dr. David and his staff there are a wonderful place to solve your mouth issues. Before we wrap it up, could you please give us another little ditty?
Okay.
Your choice.
Let me see. I don't know. He wanted something from the 90s. Here's a song we kind of wrote, my wife and I. She helped me out with this one. Life comes and goes, you just never know where we differentiate the joy, sorrow, the pain. Yeah, the sea storms and the rain. Music, laughter, and sound makes our life moving around. It comes in waves. It makes me feel like I do. It comes in waves. It's the sunshine.
More applause. Applause. Of course, they're holding up the big signs. It's applause. Before we sign out, I want to, as I usually do, give a shout out to my son, Sergeant Josh Myers.
Oh, right, Josh.
In the Air Force in Germany. Thank you for your service, son.
Love you, Josh.
And be safe. And Jim, you've been a wonderful guest today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for doing episode 9.
It is my honor and pleasure.
We're out. Thank you, guys.